So Novation have just released a really cool new Launchpad tool on their website, which you don't even need a Launchpad to be able to use. Now, if you do have a Launchpad, you're going to be able to link it up and use that as well. I'm going to show you how to get up and running with it and give you a demonstration of what it can do. Now, this is quite a long tutorial, so I've put timestamps down in the description below, so you can jump around if you want to find the bits you're interested in. Although I would recommend watching through all of it just to make sure that you don't miss anything important. How's it going, guys? It's John Holt here with The Audio Journey, helping make music production accessible to all. And here on this channel, what I do is a variety of music production tutorials and Launchpad tutorials like this one, mainly focused towards beginners and beyond. So if that's something you might be interested in, then definitely consider subscribing. Now, this brand new tool from Novation is called Launchpad Arcade, and it's an interactive website that anyone can log on to and allows you to play around with songs and sort of remix them on the fly in the Launchpad layout. It also allows you to play light shows, which is really, really cool. You don't even have to have Ableton installed. They were made by Kaskobi, really cool stuff, so I'm going to show you that. And I'm also going to give you a chance to leave some feedback on features that you would like to see going forward in Launchpad Arcade, so make sure you stay to the end of the video for that. So to get to the Launchpad Arcade, open up Google Chrome, which is the required web browser as it supports Web MIDI, and go to intro.novationmusic.com. The first time you open it, it's going to present you with a walkthrough, but you can skip this by pressing Get Started because I'm going to walk you through it. Now what I'm going to do is run you through the layout, how to connect your Launchpad if you have one, and then I'm going to show you where the 3 light shows are that are included on this site. So first of all, the layout. Over on the left here, we have the Launchpad section. Now there are 4 different functions of the pads that are on here, so let's run through them. The dark blue and purple pads with the loop in the corner are audio loops, which when you trigger them will carry on playing in a loop, for example a drum loop or a synth loop. You can trigger them by clicking on them or by using your Launchpad, which we'll come on to in a moment. So if I click on drums in the top left corner here, that's going to start playing a drum loop. To stop a loop from playing, you can either click on the pad again, or you can use the stop button at the bottom of the column here. Now you'll notice that that clip didn't start or stop straight away when I triggered it. The loops wait until the end of the bar to start or stop so that you can never launch these loops out of time. A loop that's about to stop will go red, and a loop that's about to start will go orange, and the playing loops will always be in green. Now just like in Ableton, you can only play 1 clip per column at a time. So triggering another loop in the same column when one's playing will stop the one that's already playing. So keep an eye out. What I'm going to do is trigger a loop and then trigger another one in the same column. You'll see what I mean about them going orange and red. So that's orange to start with before it plays, and now it's green. I'm going to trigger another loop a little bit lower down. It's orange and this is red. And now that this one's playing, it's green. You can stop it by pressing the stop button just down here. We also have one-shot samples, which are the light blue pads with the arrow on the corner. Now these don't loop, and you have to press and hold them down for them to play their sound. Nice little throwback to the keyboards that you had in your music classes. Now down at the bottom of each column we've got a mute pad, which is grey. Now these mute buttons have to be pressed and held to be in effect, so if you just tap them, they're not going to do anything, the track isn't going to stay in mute. If I press just once, just mutes for a split second. We've got to press and hold it to mute that track. And I also just press spacebar to stop the song from playing. Just above the mute button, we've got the stop button, which I've demonstrated earlier in the video, and that's just going to stop any clip from playing in that column. You can also use this Launchpad section in a really cool way using your computer's QWERTY keyboard. Now they use an 8x4 grid on the keyboard, running from 1 to 8 on the numbers, ascending down 4 keys per column. So what I mean by that is it starts at 1, runs all the way along to 8, and then coming down 1, 2, 3, 4. That is going to be the first 4 pads on the grid, coming all the way down here. And I'm going to show you now how that links up. In order to start using this, press and hold P. Now on the screen you can see that I can see the letters I can see on the keyboard. If I want to trigger the first drum loop in the top, press number 1, and now that's playing. To stop it, press it again. To access the bottom half, you press and hold the semicolon just below P, and now I can access these lower drum loops. And these are the stop and mute buttons. Now up on the top right we have the audio player. Now this shows you when the session is playing, and this counter will show you when your loops are going to come in and stop. The loops are all synchronized to this counter. You can also flick between the 8 different songs that are included in Launchpad Arcade by using these buttons here. And just below that there's a download link for you to grab the Ableton project files for any of these songs so that you can use it yourself. And these have been made specifically so that they work in any version of Ableton, from Ableton Live Lite all the way up to Suite. And then finally, just below that, we've got some product links and some social media links. Now let's look at how to set up your Launchpad with Launchpad Arcade. If you're using a Launchpad Mini, a Launchpad Mini Mark II, the normal Launchpad Mark II, or a Launchpad S, then it's simply plug and play. Plug in your device, and the Launchpad connection indicator in the bottom of the Launchpad section will show as Launchpad connected. If you're having any trouble with that, then try disconnecting and reconnecting the USB cable, and make sure you're not using a USB hub or anything like that. Then, whatever's displayed on the Launchpad Arcade section will be displayed on your physical Launchpad. Now if you're using the Launchpad Pro, there's just another couple of steps to take to get your Launchpad up and working with Launchpad Arcade. We just need to pop it into programmer mode and then refresh the website, and we'll be up and running. So first of all, turn on your Launchpad Pro. Then press and hold Setup in the top left corner, and press this orange pad, which is going to put it into programmer mode. And this is going to flash across the screen for you. Then initially you're not going to get any LED feedback, but all you need to do to resolve this problem is refresh the page in Chrome. There we go. Now we can see all of the one-shots and loops up at the top section here, the stop buttons and the mute buttons. Unfortunately for this site, the original Launchpad is not supported. Now once you're set up, you can play around in arcade mode to your heart's content. Now inside Launchpad Arcade there are 3 playable light shows, which you don't need Ableton open or even installed to be able to play on your Launchpad. These were made by none other than Kaskobi himself for Novation, so let's have a look at them. I'll also point out that these are specifically for the Launchpad Mark II and the Launchpad Pro. If we scroll along to the last 3 songs of the 8 that are included in Launchpad Arcade, we'll see the light shows that are ranked in difficulty from easy to medium to hard. Oops. So here's the easy one, Sugar Vape, medium, High Roller, and then the last one, which is difficult, Nitrix, Stay Here Forever. Now on this hard one, Kaskobi has a video tutorial on how to play along, but for the rest, it's totally up to you to figure out how to play it. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate how I managed to get a little bit of a light show going with the easy version. Bear in mind, I'm not a Launchpad light show player. My timing's not going to be great, but it will demonstrate to you sort of what's where and how to get a little bit of a light show going. Now on this left-hand column, we have the drums, which run on 2-bar loops when they're held down, like so. You've got 8 different drum patterns down here, which do the same. And then we've got 5 elements of further drums, bass and melodic elements. And each of these pads holds a half-bar loop. And the column going down contains a 4-bar loop. So let me demonstrate what that looks like. And that works the same for this column, this one, this one, this one, and this one. These last 2 columns are just random one-shot effects that you can use throughout the performance. The first difficulty that we run into is the fact that the drum loop only lasts for 2 bars. So if we play the column like I just did, going down, then the drum loop is going to stop when we get to here. So if you want to get good at this, what you need to do is practice playing these columns fluently. Ideally with one hand, so that one hand can be doing the drums, and then one hand can be doing this, even for multiple channels at a time, which I think is what's probably done in the song. As you can hear, the timing's a little bit off there. There we go, and that's a perfect demonstration of why I am not a Launchpad light show YouTuber, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of how you can play this light show. Get practicing it, try the medium and hard one as well. As I say, the hard one's got a video tutorial from Kaskobi himself on how to play it. And if you do make any tutorials on how to play this, then please do let me know and I'll link you up in the description below so that we can help people out getting up and running with these. Now, some things that I would like to see in Launchpad Arcade are a couple of little changes. So first of all, on the Launchpad, I'd like to see different colored pads for the one-shots in comparison to the loops. I think that'd make it really easy. And also what I'd like to see is volume control for each of the pads. So you can maybe click on the pad inside Launchpad Arcade and then control the volume, because some of them get lost underneath other sounds at times, and it's something that I think could be improved. Overall though, it's such a cool tool and you don't need a Launchpad to use it. You can just click on the stuff in Launchpad Arcade. Gives you an idea of whether a Launchpad's going to be for you or not. Now down in the description below, there are links if you want to go through and buy a Launchpad, maybe grab one for Christmas. They are Amazon affiliate links, so if you do buy through those links, I get a small commission and it makes no difference to the cost to you. But I'd really appreciate it if you want to support the channel in that way. If there's any features that you want to see in the Launchpad Arcade, then make sure you drop them in the comments down below and we'll get them sent over to Novation. So if you have found this useful, then please do leave the video a like. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you want to see more tutorials like this about music production for beginners and Launchpads, then feel free to subscribe and I'll be making weekly content throughout. I've been John Holt with The Audio Journey and I really hope to see you guys again soon. Take care.